A little girl named Nemo wakes up in a lighthouse. She lives here with her father Peter because he works there. Peter is a single parent and takes care of Nemo. He plays with her and they cook food together. Peter also teaches Nemo how to play piano and how to fix the lighthouse's engine. They both also go boating in their free time. While studying math, Nemo tells her father that she doesn't want to study math anymore, and she wants to work in the lighthouse like him. But her father says once she knows why lighthouses are built, he will give the key to the lighthouse to her. And every night before going to bed, she listens to a story from her father. She has a piggy toy and loves it too much. Even she keeps it with her every time when she goes to sleep. Peter tells her the story of him and his friend Flip, and says that they went to a world called Dreamland and did whatever they want. They enjoyed themselves a lot, and one time they went to find a pearl. There was a magic pearl that could fulfill all kinds of wishes. But suddenly their boat sank and they fell into the deep sea. There is a dangerous monster that was very large and had a very dangerous sound. Meanwhile, Nemo wants to see this monster with her own eyes, but her father tells her to sleep and says he has to save the boat that needs urgent help. He leaves, and Nemo falls asleep. But when she falls asleep, she goes into her dream world, where she sees herself drowning in the sea. And she also dreams that their lighthouse has sunk. Then she finds her father's boat sinking. She starts shouting, but her eyes open and she wakes up. The next day, Nemo goes out and sees a woman named Carla, who works with her father. She then asks Carla about her father. Carla tells Nemo that her father has died and drowned in the sea. Nemo cries, and Clara tries to reassure her. After her father's funeral, Nemo is sent to the city with her uncle whose name is Philip, and she meets him for the first time. Philip takes her home and tells her that he owns a company, but it seems he is a feelingless man who has no friends and is a socially isolated person. Philip leaves because he is very busy, and Nemo becomes alone again. She goes into her room and tries to sleep, but when she falls asleep, she goes into the world of dreams, where her little toy awakes her, and Nemo gets very scared. Then the legs of her bed come out, and it starts walking to take Nemo to the lighthouse, where she becomes happier. Going there, she meets a strange man named Flip. He is stealing things from the lighthouse, and tells Nemo that he is her father's dream partner. And now, he has to come into Nemo's dream, because he needs her help. He says that her father has a map having a lot of lines on it, and if Nemo finds that map, they will find the magic pearl. Then he will help Nemo to meet her father. But Nemo says that she doesn't know anything about this map. Flip throws her down from the window, and she then opens her eyes. The next day, her uncle comes and takes her to the school. She goes there and meets the new teacher. But her uncle Philip meets the teacher separately, and says that Nemo has never gone to school before, and that the teachers have to work hard and pay a lot of attention to Nemo. The teacher then says that she will do her best to help Nemo, and the teacher takes Nemo inside the classroom. When Nemo reaches the classroom, a boy named Jamal comes from outside. He starts talking with his classmates, and the teacher introduces them to each other. Then they both go towards the cafeteria together and start talking with each other. Jamal asks Nemo if she has a mobile, but she tells him that she doesn't have one, and that she has never been to school before. In the evening, her uncle teaches her how to open the lock, but she is not interested in it. Nemo goes to her room and sleeps. After a while, she wakes up and opens a box. Then she finds a painting, and it seems that this is the map, which Flip was asking before. The next morning, Nemo cancels her school attendance with her uncle's phone, but instead, she goes to the school's basement, and tries to go sleeping. She falls asleep there, and enters the dreamland again. Nemo is back at the lighthouse where she calls Flip, and then gives him a map. Flip says I'm going to find the pearl, but she insists that she wants to see her father, and she says that she will go with him after that. Flip tells her that they will enter different dreams one by one, through different dream doors. And when they enter the first dream, they find it's a beautiful place full of flowers, and birds chirping everywhere. Nemo becomes very excited to see this place, and they move forward. A man then stops them, and asks if they are invited to the party, but they manage to enter the party. Someone is playing piano there, and a lady is standing and singing a beautiful song. Flip also starts partying, but Nemo tells him to come on, because they have to go to find the magic pearl. But Agent Green arrives. She's the police from the dreamland. and she's looking for Flip because he's committed too many robberies. And she chases him in all dreams to catch him, but he always becomes successful in escaping. Meanwhile, the dangerous monster arrives there, the monster which Peter told Nemo. The monster starts roaring, and everything starts falling to the ground. The place starts to destroy, and all the people of that place start running away from there. Nemo becomes scared, and falls to the ground, but Flip drags her, and tries to save her from the monster. Nemo and Flip escape with difficulty, and enter another dream. Flip says he doesn't know about this monster, and he didn't see him before, but Nemo tells him that she saw it before in her dreams, and Flip says it means the monster came here for her. Meanwhile, Nemo's eyes open, and Jamal comes there. He is surprised to see her in the basement, and asks her what she is doing there. She tells him that everyone in the school thinks that she is at home, but she stops and then asks Jamal why he is here. He says that he comes here to check his project, and Nemo requests him not to tell anyone about it. Then she goes home. Her uncle gives her a surprise, and buys a boat for her, but she refuses to go boating without her father, and says she doesn't want it, she just needs her father. In the evening, when she is having dinner with her uncle, he tells her that she shouldn't be separated from the world, and it isn't good for her. Then she falls asleep, and opens her eyes again in the dreamland. In her dream, she meets Flip, and asks him who is he in the real world. Flip replies that he remembers nothing from the real world, because he is in the dreamland many years ago, and loves to live here for the rest of his life. After a while, they enter the next dream, in which they are sitting in the back of a garbage truck. But suddenly, Agent Green goes there in her car, and chases them again. She is holding a gun in her hand, and is trying to catch Flip. They struggle to get rid of Green and go inside the truck, where a small child is driving the truck. And Flip says that now they entered the dream of this child. Agent Green is still chasing them, and Flip then asks the little boy to drive fast. The kid starts driving very fast, and they all start shouting. The Agent Green is also driving fast, and she is about to catch them. But suddenly, the truck falls into the ocean, and they all start swimming under the water. Then they enter into another dream, in which they are in a building, but Agent Green comes there, and when they try to escape, she fires at them with her gun. This makes them immobilized, and they can't move. Agent Green comes forward, and locks them inside the jail. After a while, she comes back, and takes Nemo from there to her office. She tells Nemo that she should live in the real world. Dreams are never true, and there are no pearls in this world. What Nemo is talking about is just a myth, and no magical pearls exist in reality. She warns Nemo and orders her to leave the dreamland. Nemo opens her eyes, and comes out of the dream. After a while, her uncle comes there. He turns on the TV, and starts showing a childhood video of him and her father. He says that they were very good friends, and they both lived in the world of dreams, did what they wanted, and were happy in that world. Nemo finds out that her uncle is the same as Flip, but he remembers nothing, and says her father left him after he married her mother. She says her father used to tell her his stories, and he never left you. And Flip starts crying upon hearing this. The next morning, when she goes to school, she meets Jamal in the gallery with his fellows. He tries to talk to her, but she says that she has to go now. And then she goes down the stairs, and goes to the basement of the school. She is ready to go into the dreamland, and falls asleep in the basement again. She goes through all the doors of dreams one by one, and enters the same beautiful place, where the people are dancing. Then she moves forward towards the jail, where Flip is kept. She breaks the lock and they both run away. After that, they enter their next dream, where they reach a frozen land. There is snow everywhere, and there are big birds that are flying there. But suddenly, Agent Green comes there. She tries to catch them again, but they both run away riding on a big bird. After they walk further, they find another door, and they both become excited to see the door. Flip says that this is the last door they are going to enter, and after this, they will find the pearl. It is very dark, and snow is falling, and Nemo becomes a little bit scared of it. Then she tells Flip who he is in the real world, and that he is the owner of a successful company, and is her uncle. But later on, when her father married, he also stops to come there with Flip. Meanwhile, Flip says he doesn't want to search for the pearl now, because he doesn't want to go back to the real world. But Nemo tells him she will go alone to search for the pearl, because she wants to meet her father. Flip tells her to get up, and go into the real world. Nemo opens her eyes in the school's basement, but her teacher is standing in front of her, and they called her uncle to come to the school. The teacher asks her why she was hiding in the basement, and it could be dangerous for her. But Nemo says that nobody can understand her feelings. The teacher looks at Nemo and her uncle, and says that they both are fighting with the same emotions, and they should try to understand it. After they go home, her uncle asks why that she lies to him. And although he is giving her love and everything, she doesn't trust him. After arguing, she goes to her room and thinks of going back to the lighthouse. She packs her bag and takes the piggy toy with her, and starts sailing toward the lighthouse through a boat. It is heavily raining due to a storm, and she gets hit by a wood of the boat. She then faints and falls asleep. She goes into the dreams again, where she finds herself in the ocean. Nemo sees a hole in which the magical pearls are placed, and she sends her piggy toy to pick the pearl. On the other hand, Flip is enjoying the dreamland, but he sees a poster, and knows that he is in the first position of most wanted thieves. And this is because he has sent an innocent girl into the world of dreams. After a while, a small plane comes there. A man comes out of it and tells him that the little girl Nemo is in the ocean of nightmares, and she is alone there. When he comes to know that Nemo is in the ocean, he becomes surprised and rushes to her. While Nemo is picking the pearl, the monster of the bad dream comes there. The monster is about to get her, but Flip comes and saves her, and they both start running away from the monster. They enter into their dreams, and then they both go through all doors of dreams one by one. But the monster chases them, and catches Flip. He then throws the pearl toward Nemo. Nemo is holding the pearl in her hand, and she is thinking to make a wish for Flip. She wishes to save him from the monster. So, she sacrifices her wish to see her father, and makes a wish to wake Flip. Flip disappears from the dream, and is saved from the monster. And Nemo then goes from there. In the real world, Philip is searching for Nemo. He finds her in the water, and is trying to wake her. On the other side, Nemo in her dream goes to the lighthouse. She is holding the finished pearl in her hand, and it disappears because one pearl can fulfill only one wish. But the piggy toy throws out another pearl from his mouth, and Nemo makes a wish to meet her dad. She meets him and they both hug each other, and they spent time together. They both start playing piano and playing games. Nemo then tells him some stories and what happened to her. Her father says that she should stay happy in her life and go back to the real world, and tells her that she can't live in the dreamland because she can't survive here without people in her life. He further says that her uncle will take care of her, and they both will have a happy life together. And now she must go back to the real world. Nemo agrees with her father and says goodbye to him. She then opens her eyes and sees her uncle Philip there. He comes here to save her and starts crying. Then he remembers everything about dreamland. They both hug each other and become happy about this. The next day, Nemo is in her school happy with her fellows, and Philip is also changed a lot. He has feelings now, and he acts like Flip. They both enjoy boating, and they are happy together. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you in the next video.
Big dog status, I'm a